between worlds.
All right. Well, we're here. So we have a file name donation incentive. Can I get what that is? What that?
I have a huge surprise for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
The winner is Lonk.
It's Lonk.
It's Lonk.
All right. Is that capital? I only have to change one letter. You guys are making it so easy for me. Wow. Speedrunning the file name. Incredible. All right. So let's just get right into it. So on go. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so I'm Ben, introducing my couch. Adef, you want to start?
Sure. Hi, I'm adef. This game slaps.
I'm gamestabled. I agree. It owns.
I am purplephoton, and it is the best Zelda game on the 3DS.
Ooh. I would agree with that.
It might be the best Zelda game in the last decade.
It might be the best Zelda game.
Ooh, I don't think that's an opinion people want to hear.
Okay, well.
This game's really, really good, and I think it's hands down the best Zelda any percent.
I would agree with that.
I think it is, and there's a lot of reasons why I think it is. And I think if you've never seen this game before, it's especially a pretty good treat, because I think probably the best thing about this game is it's just like really intuitive to watch as someone who's like not super familiar with it. There's a lot of stuff where you just see like a trick or a glitch and you're like, oh, I think I get why that works. Like, it's, you know, an Ocarina of Time and stuff. You got some crazy memory manipulation stuff. There isn't really anything like that in this game, but there's some very flashy, very fun stuff that I'm going to be doing. So, yeah. Text is very fast in this game. There's not a whole lot of downtime. It's pretty active, and I need to save this statue or I will get yelled at. So, yeah, this game rules. It's very, very good. And it gets started pretty quickly here. So I am moving to the blacksmith. I got to go pick up a sword because I overslept or something. I would say right now is probably a pretty good time for a donation because there won't be a whole lot of time right after that.
Okay, I'll sneak a couple in. I have $30 for you from Asher, who says, "Hi, Ben Stevens. Good luck on the run." Yeah? Oh, there's a lot of Link in the crowd. Time for a few more?
Yes, please. You probably have time for 2 or 3 more.
Oh, wonderful. I have $25 for you from Anonymous, who says, "A Link Between Worlds is my favorite handheld Zelda game, and I need to see this run." It's a good thing we're doing it then. Also, here's $25 from Justin, who says, "Apparently there's a cool power-up in the new Zelda game you can find on the internet. It's called a hyperlink."
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so throughout the run, I'm going to be activating these bird statues here. These later will act as warp points, but they're also used for saving. Shouldn't be a whole lot of saving this run, but yeah, so they're mostly just for warping around. So towards the beginning of the run, I'm going to be grabbing a lot of those. So right now I have a sword, but I can't use it, and this is the toucan. And we're going to use him to jump. The toucan jump.
Nice, Ben.
So that's... Le toucan has arrived. This is the scariest part of the run. It's terrifying. So I'm running through this tunnel here, and they got these Moldorms. So I have a sword. I cannot use it because it's not my sword. So I'm supposed to be delivering it, and I'm just going off the grid here. And these Moldorms are being very nice to me right now. They just kind of move around very sporadically. I did not want that heart. They move around really sporadically, and they were very nice to me. So I'm actually going to need to, I don't need to play this quite as safe right now. So I can kind of tank some hits. And so I am in this area very early. Ooh, I'm going to grab those. So one of the big thing about this run is rupees are going to play a really big part. So I need a lot of money throughout the run, and it's, more. So the more rupees I get, the better. There's a little bit of luck involved with that, so having that boulder get broken right there is very good. So now I need to make my way back. Oh. I'm kidding. That's fine. I was supposed to do that.
Oh, I wanted you to continue the classic. That's the classic GDQ.
Yeah, that's the classic. No, I did want to do that. So this guy right here is Ravio. He's the shopkeeper, and he's going to sell me some items. And it's really weird in this game. He kind of just shows up. Like, they don't really explain who he is. He's just there in the house, which is like kind of weird. I don't really know why they decided to do it that way, but there he is. And he's got like cool bunny outfit. I don't know. He's a cool guy. I like him.
Remember when this game and like New Super Mario Bros. U came out at the same time, and both of them have a purple character that looks exactly like that, and I couldn't tell if it was cross promo or not? I don't know why I asked if you remembered something I thought, but
Yeah,
that's fine.
I remember that.
I do remember that
Thank
guy.
you,
What was his name?
gamestabled.
Was it Nabbit?
Yeah, I
What
think
was
that's correct.
Okay. So one of the big reasons why rupees play such a big part in this is because in this game, you don't get your items the normal way you would in a lot of Zelda games. You get them from a shop, which I think is a great system, and I love it. So the first item I got there was the fire rod, and I actually didn't have enough rupees for it, but the first item that you buy, Ravio will cut you some slack on it, and he'll just give it to you if you don't have enough rupees, because he's a cool guy. And yeah.
That's really useful because the fire rod is one of the more expensive
Right.
items to rent.
So I don't actually need to use it anytime soon, but it's just good to get it this early because it's really
free.
expensive. Yeah, and it's free.
I think that's another reason, and you will see this as the run progresses, why A Link Between Worlds Any Percent is so sick. The item usage, like every cool item gets a spotlight in this run.
And there's cool items. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The items are very cool. And we're going to be seeing some of those cool items. But right now I can't use any items because I have not unlocked the ability to use them, which is really weird. It's really weird that they let you buy all the items before you can even use them. What's up with that?
Yeah, Ben.
It's very strange. So this is Dampe. Do we like Dampe?
Yeah, we like Dampe.
Do we? I don't know. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Dampe. I played a lot of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. He's a sweet fellow.
So Dampe is very cool because he says, hey, dude, you have that sword. Just, I don't know, use it. So I'm going to. And I'm going to pick up some rupees here as well. Probably a good time for another donation or two.
Wonderful. I have $25 here from Rose as Romeo, who says, hey, listen, Navi here, traveling between worlds. We have to reach that bonus game incentive. Thank you, Navi. Also have $15 here from Momomo, who says, throwing some rupees to the shopkeeper as an advance payment so Link can go fast and save Hyrule.
Okay, so I'm making my way through the dark, and it's actually very dark. I don't know how it appears on stream, but like just looking at the DS, which I am looking at, it's very dark, and I'm getting a lot of rupees, and I'm also getting beat up. So I hope I kind of get a heart here, because that would be bad. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. Kind of slow, but I am not risking that.
Dying in this game is really costly.
I don't think I've ever taken like more of a heart than damage there, so that was not great. Okay, there's 3 Poes here. All right, line them up. I'm getting a lot of rupees, which is really, really good. I think I got like 2 or 3 extra blue rupees in there. So if I get enough, I can actually skip some rupees later on. You kind of need a lot, so I probably won't. I'll probably play it safe, but yeah. So, that's the sanctuary. I can now use items. I'm supposed to save someone named Saris, but we're gonna skip the cutscene because it's fast. And now I'm back at Link's house, or I will be once this loads. And Link's just sleeping on a table because I don't know who he is. There's Ravio. He's chilling. And then this is actually the part of the game where they introduce second Ravio. There's 2 of them. Yeah. And they're just hanging out. They're friends.
This is the guy from New Super Mario Bros. U.
Yeah, that's actually the guy from New Super Mario Bros.
I don't know
U.
if you guys remember this, but New Super Mario Bros. U came out at the same time as this game. Is crazy.
Yeah, so this is that.
I don't remember that.
Oh. Ben, can you please keep commentating?
Hey, did you guys remember that character from... What? Anyway.
We're not doing okay up here.
We're not doing okay. So what happened here? All right, I'm just gonna say it. What happened is when you go to Death Mountain early, like I did, and you watch that cutscene of the volcano erupting, it triggers a world flag that opens the shop up before you actually are supposed to meet Ravio, which means I can get all of the items like immediately. So right now I'm only supposed to have the bow, but now I have the fire rod, I have the bow, and I also have the tornado rod. And the tornado rod is great. It's one of the best items, and I'm gonna be using it a lot.
It's also cool, like you would notice, depending on which thing Ben was interacting with, the different Ravio would interact with Ben. So like when Ben is renting items, he's talking to Ravio 1, but when Ben is being woken up, that's Ravio 2.
It gets confusing. I don't know. I think, isn't there a way to get 3 of them, actually?
I think so.
I think there's a way to get a 3rd one. I don't remember how that works, though. And I don't think it's super easy, but yeah. So now I'm making my way to the first dungeon, Eastern Palace, pretty bread and butter, good old Zelda. So obviously this game is very similar to A Link to the Past, like the overworld, but this game's like way better, so.
Ooh.
But a lot of the settings are gonna look a little familiar. Like I think most of this dungeon looks kind of the same, but it's different. Oh, got hit by that boulder. Picking up a couple more rupees here. Why do they call it A Link Between Worlds?
Do you want a genuine answer or a joke answer?
I think it's
Let's do the genuine answer, and then I'll ask it again. And
Okay.
then you do.
Okay, here's the genuine answer, because you go between Hyrule and Lorule.
Okay, cool. Hey, why do they call it A Link Between Worlds? This is where you do the joke.
This is where the funny part
Yeah,
happens?
that's the funny one.
Yeah, I don't really do that.
Okay, all right.
I got applause, though.
Why did I put you on the couch? All right, killing these Armos here. Ooh, a lot of rupees. All right, I might be able to skip those rupees later because I have gotten like 25-ish extra, which that's pretty good. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm getting really lucky. That's pretty good. Okay, so this room, I'm gonna do a trick bow shot here to hit a switch early that raises up that platform. And now I'm gonna take my buddy, the Armos over here. Ooh, he's coming really close, okay. I'm gonna have to wait an extra cycle on this guy. I'll have to wait down there. I'm gonna take this guy and he's just gonna give me a little boost. Oh, nice.
Nice.
That is very tricky. Yeah, that trick is like really finicky. It just doesn't work sometimes, and I have no idea why. Just kind of getting a feel for it. But yeah, so that's the boss key skip. That's one of the biggest reasons why getting the items early is really, really good, because you skip a whole lot of stuff to unlock the shop, but also it lets you get the tornado rod before this dungeon, so you can skip like probably about half of it. It's quite a bit of rooms. So this is the main antagonist of the game, Yuga. You haven't seen him up until this point because I've been skipping the cutscenes, but he's the first boss. He's pretty easy. You just shoot him with some arrows. And he goes down.
It's worth noting, you might be like, well, Ben, why aren't you just shooting arrows the whole time?
Oh,
Yeah, this is a good...
I'm so not used to it.
I know.
You want to explain that?
Yeah, sure. So one negative side effect of Ben getting the item shop early is that Ben's magic bracelet, which is the item Ravio gives you that allows you to use items typically, is never properly displayed, or like properly turned on, I guess is a way you could describe it. And typically how the game works is it has its own little like stamina bar where when you use items, it depletes this purple magic meter. But Ben never did that. So Ben has a magic meter that the game is tracking, but it is not visible on screen. So Ben just has to keep in his mind, okay, I've used the arrows, I've shot the bow twice, I can't shoot a third time, and so forth. And there will be a lot of times where it's not clear, but Ben is doing very precise item routing.
Yeah.
But it looks like Ben's just being like stupid or something. But I promise it is genuinely hard to keep track of, and it's very impressive.
Yeah, so the stamina bar is just not there, and it uses stamina anytime you use an item other than the sword, or anytime I do this merge feature, which is kind of the main gimmick of this game. You can merge onto pretty much any wall and just wrap around it like a painting, and I think it's really cool, so, yeah. Yeah, 300 rupees. That's really good. Probably a good time for 2 or 3 donations.
Wonderful. I have $50 here for you from Nux Tenma, who says, I heard from Link before his run, and he said, yeah. I'm not fluent in Hylian, but I think that means I love randomizers. So let's do right by Link and get that Symphony of the Night rando met. Also, I'm starting a new job this week that offers donation matching, so consider this your reminder to see if your employer matches charitable donations. Thank you so much for the reminder. Time for any more?
Yeah, one more. You got one more.
One more? All right, perfect. Here's $100 from Zeta, who says, shoutouts from the NesDev community. Here's 100 rupees to pay Ravio for, wait, he wants how much? We're gonna need more donations.
I don't know. I think Ravio's pretty reasonable. I mean, he gave us the one thing for free, so I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's nice of him.
This is really weird. I didn't notice this until like just now, but when you pick the bombs up, he says, let me see this. When you get them, I rented bombs. I'm gonna read this. Make sure you take good care of my bombs. How am I gonna? I don't really know how that works, but okay.
Seems like a no-win situation.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go really well. What's the best character in this game?
Is there a right answer?
Yeah, there's a right answer.
Okay.
I think.
Gamestabled? You want to take this?
Probably Hilda.
Probably Hilda. Hilda's all right.
The Triforce.
The Triforce? No, it's Irene. Irene's the best character.
She's good.
No, come on. Dude, she's the best.
The music for Irene is really good.
It's really good.
I like when the broom talks to you.
I just think she's nice. So Irene is the witch character, and she gives us the bell, which lets us warp around the map. That's part of the reason why she's the best character, because she helps you get around fast. So that's going to be a really essential item. So I've opened most of the warp points I'm going to be going to throughout the run. There's a couple more, but it's very helpful. I think in low percent, you don't get the bell and you just have to walk everywhere, and that is kind of really bad.
Yeah, and skipping the bell in low percent is its own thing, because normally it's supposed to be required, so.
Yeah, you have to get around that bridge without triggering it.
Man, low percent speedruns are cool.
So there's actually another way here where you can get over this gap before, like right at the beginning of the run, and that also unlocks the shop early, but it's really difficult. You have to, and it's really luck-based, you have to hit a bush, and sometimes you'll randomly get a bee that'll come out of the bush, and you have to get the bee to hit you off the edge and boost you over to the other side. It's like the dumbest thing ever, but you can do it. So this is the shady guy. I don't know, he's shady. I don't know, I think he's kind of cool too, though.
Do you
think
just
he's
like
the
every
normal
NPC
guy.
that gives you something?
I
He
think I
gives
just
you
like,
something? Is that a spoiler?
Uh-oh.
Oh, do I need to leave?
Get out.
Okay.
Remember, I have
that's
final
all for
say.
me. That's right, Ben. That's right.
So the shady guy, he stole this smooth stone right here. Smooth gem, sorry. And you don't know that yet, but I just bought it. So I guess he stole it and sold it to that guy. I'm gonna pick up some more rupees here. Right. And so he's in Kakariko Village right now. Yeah, this is Kakariko Village, I guess, if you're not familiar with the game. He's right here. I'm gonna spook him with my merge ability. And so, yeah, he's like, yeah, sorry, I took that smooth gem and I sold it to that guy over there. You'll see that here in a second. Points over there. And it's just like not there because I already bought it. And he's gonna give me the Pegasus boots, which are probably like the best item in the game. I don't know, they're really good because you just go around so fast. And yeah, so that's a little bit of downtime. Probably have time for like 2 donations right now.
Perfect, perfect. I've got $10 for you from Ravio, who says, hey Ben, you owe me for that fire rod.
No, he gave it to me. That's
yeah,
fine.
I don't know why he's saying that while giving you money.
No takebacks.
It's an interesting power move. I also have $25 from Demendented. Thank you. Who says, yeah!
A lot of yas.
Thank you,
Okay. So I'm climbing up Death Mountain right now. I warp back to that place I was at the beginning of the game. I have to do kind of a tricky trick right here where I'm gonna kind of do, so the Pegasus boots have some weird properties. Oh, just missed it. Where you can kind of do like, oh, missed it again. Kind of do like a bit of a coyote run type deal. Oh my goodness. Do they have hearts over here? Nope, that's a rupee. Boulders. Scary. All right,
Nice.
good. I honestly don't remember the right way to go around, so I'm really glad I got that. So that skips a couple of loading zones here. I need to be really careful, because if I get hit by a boulder, I am dead. Okay, good. That got a little scary. Yeah, so that skips a little bit of movement there. You can just slide over that gap. So yeah, the Pegasus boots can kind of do like a coyote run thing. That is not a traditional showing of it. We call it a dash slide. It's a cool little trick found by Fash, who found all the glitches in this game. Shout out to Fash. So this is the second dungeon, Tower of Hera. And so every dungeon has like a main item that you're supposed to have during it. In this one, it's the hammer. So technically the only item I need to use to get through it is the hammer. And coming up here is probably, is it the hardest trick in the game?
I would say so.
It's really difficult.
At least the hardest one in the 80% run right now.
Yeah, so I hopefully will just get it first try and then can explain it. But if not, then I'll explain it while I'm doing it. So let's see here. Get rid of these mold worms. Ooh, all right, I am really good on rupees. I don't need any more. Okay. I'm so good. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Oh, I gotta count. All right, 5, 6, 7. All right, so I'm counting the hearts right here because I need to know when I get enough stamina to tornado rod back up. Okay, great. All right, so that trick's really hard. It's a 2-frame window. This game runs at 60 FPS, so that's a 1/30th of a second that I need to, I put that bomb there, and then it's kind of above me. So if you take damage, while tornado rodding at the right elevation, you can kind of just go through ceilings. So I skip a lot of floors by doing that. And it's really hard. And yeah, I'm like really happy that went well.
That was really good.
And if you miss it, actually, I'm gonna try to do another one right here. I don't know if that angle is right. No, it's not. Okay, forget that. We're just gonna do this the intended way. Ooh, these guys are coming for me. I don't want to fall. Oh, I did fall. Okay. How do I get back up? Let's try this again. Okay. All right, great.
Yeah, the game betrays itself a little bit since the rooms are genuinely stacked on top of each other. Like they're not doing a gimmick. Like the world is loaded that way. And so if you're able to clip through ceilings, you can just progress more quickly through the dungeon.
Correct, yeah. So this dungeon's very vertical, obviously. There's a couple more of those in the run, but it's very hard. And that one in particular is really tricky. There's setups for some of the other ones to make them easier. But yeah, that one's just tough. And I got it, so really good. So I didn't eat dinner yet. And this boss makes me hungry because he looks like a hamburger. We call this the hamburger boss, but this is the Moldorm. Hopefully, he's very finicky, so I hope he goes okay. All right, so I'm gonna be trying to hit his tail with the arrows, but he is really sporadic. Ooh. All right, that was fine. Nope. Okay, yeah, he just like moves around randomly, so it's really hard.
The arrows actually do twice as much damage as just a normal sword slash there, so that's how he's able to kill him so fast.
Right, yeah, so right now my sword does 1 damage, but the bow does 2 damage, so basic math. So you can skip heart pieces, but these first 3 pretty much aren't worth skipping just because this portal will appear faster. There's technically a slightly faster thing you can do that skips the heart container, but it's like, I don't know, safety. This game's really hard, by the way, actually. Yeah, it's really easy to die. Oh, and that's the other mechanic I have not explained at all. The items, I do not actually like have them. I'm renting them. So Ravio is kind of stingy and a jerk a little bit because he's just renting the items to me. And if I die, I lose all of my items and I have to go back and pay for them again. And I don't have that in my budget. So I'm going to really try not to die. So hearts are good.
Might I interrupt for just a moment?
Yes.
So I have something that might help with your budget, or at least the budget of the Symphony of the Night randomizer incentive, because we have $10,000.
Wow.
And that comes to us courtesy of DK Salfo, who says, donating towards taking good care of the bombs. Oh, and the Symphony of the Night run too. Almost there! We are indeed almost there. Come on, everyone. I believe in us.
That was really generous. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. So I do a little trick right there. Another one of those bomb rods that I did in Tower of Terror. It's a little different, but basically I go around a cutscene trigger. The trigger still exists, and I don't want to run into it because it wastes a lot of time, and it looks really silly, so I kind of wish I could show it because it's just like a fish that's flying around the room, but I'm not going to do it because it's really slow. Yeah, so I got that trick pretty good, and now I got the flippers, so that's the reason I had to go and buy that smooth gem. Yeah, and so at this point, I do not need any more rupees. So at this point, usually I would make a little detour to go get some more rupees, but I don't need them because I have gotten so many so far. Probably have time for one or two more donations.
Perfect. I've got $50 here from Phoenix, who says, let's see if I can take a long enough break from Tears of the Kingdom to donate for a good cause. And to help meet the randomizer incentive, Symphony of the Night for the win. I am very impressed that all of these Zelda runners are not playing Tears of the Kingdom right now.
Okay, yeah, it's tough. It was like I had to just be like, okay, I'm not playing the game. I'm not playing the game. I've been so strong, but it was hard.
Ben is sacrificing for all of you. Do you know how much practice Ben put into this run? I mean, countless hours.
I did actually put in a decent amount.
No, I know. I'm mostly memeing. But, I mean...
Maybe not as much as I should have, because I did play the Tears of the Kingdom.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm trying to give you a little leg up here.
Don't admit to that.
Okay, that was fine. More rupees. I don't need them, but like I'm getting so lucky with the money in this. Usually I feel like I just don't get anything, and then I have to go out of my way to get like a bunch extra, but no, I'm doing great.
You are doing great, Ben.
Oh my God, that means so much.
Ben, you're so handsome. All right.
Talk to me after the round, okay?
Oh, okay.
So the item in this dungeon that you're supposed to have, the only one you need, is the tornado rod. So this is when you're like actually supposed to have it. But again, there's a lot of other items that like still save time. I still want to. Okay.
Classic.
Well,
Nice.
Suicide Keys. Wow, he's just like run right in there. He's like, please do not hit that switch. Really wanted to get in my way, and I'm still getting rupees. It's crazy. All right, little trick here. Just skip that animation.
I feel like this was the dungeon. I don't like when the speedrun scene was first blowing up. I feel like this was the dungeon where so much major stuff was found first. Like
It was.
Trick
So
was.
many
I remember
little-
seeing
right.
that clip and being like, "This game is sick."
Okay, do you guys? One of you want to, Jeff or GameStep, want to explain the skip? The skip?
Yeah, so House of Gales has undergone a couple of different iterations for the fastest way to do it, and each time we sort of just added an additional skip to the name. So first there was House of Gales skip, and since there's been two more, now it's House of Gales skip, skip, skip. So what Ben's gonna do is he's gonna get on that fan, which you're normally supposed to go around this floor and activate, but he's gonna get the keys in a specific position, and then it's just gonna bump him up into the loading zone there.
Yeah, so that's the third iteration of a big skip in that. It's pretty easy, but it saves a lot of time. So that's the skip, skip, skip. And that, ooh. Does anyone know why that didn't work?
I think you maybe waited too long.
Can that happen? That's
It's supposed to be on your initial position in the room, but
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Oh, that
Weird.
guy's, yeah, what a jerk. He was right in my way. So that is the first like traditional use of a dash slide found by Fash. Do you know that? Do you know that Fash found that?
Fash is so smart.
He's so cool. So yeah, that's the first use of a dash slide. So you can kind of just like clear small gaps. It's going to be really useful later. This is like one of the weirdest bosses in Zelda. This thing is called Margot Mill. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it's kind of fun. I don't know.
You know, for anyone who's still hungry, we already had the burger boss. This is the pancake boss.
Is it the pancake boss we're calling it?
Yeah.
This boss is like true item meter management.
Oh no, I fell. Yeah. So every time you fall and void out, your stamina meter actually regenerates. It goes back to full. So that's why I'm falling right there, because every time I use a bomb, bombs use a lot of stamina. And so does the tornado rod. So I'm really trying to manage how much stamina I'm using at any given time, and it's pretty tricky. I really have to stay on top of it.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice is you're supposed to use the tornado rod once the eye is open to get on top of the boss, but Ben was just able to throw 2 bombs up there and skip equipping the tornado rod back and forth because he only has 1 item slot to equip right now. That was a very good fight.
That was very good.
That was
It's
really good.
It's not a hard fight, but when it goes wrong, it's like oh god, you're stumbling. You got like China on your hand, you're dropping them everywhere. It's bad.
Yeah, you can get cornered very easily and knocked off.
Oh geez.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's like one of those situations. So I'm glad that went well.
Just one of those classic situations, Ben. As you described, I think you said you were holding China and dropping it. I think, is that what you said?
Yeah, is that what?
One of those classics.
Yeah, classic. Do you ever have that happen to you?
All the time, man.
Just me?
Yeah, Ben, that's normal.
I walk into antique stores and I just can't help myself.
I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was. Doesn't matter. Anyways, yeah, that dungeon's pretty good. I like that dungeon.
Yeah.
Probably a good time for 2 or 3 more donations.
Absolutely. I've got $25 for you from Courtney Rail, who says, sounds like you need more rupees to hit that bonus run. You needed more rupees, right? That's what you needed?
I think we could use some more rupees.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I don't think I need any more, but someone else might.
Oh, so you're going to donate rupees too. I love it. They
I
continue
got a couple
with,
extras.
that rabbit is being a bit stingy. Here, take this. Don't forget, everyone, to hit the Add Incentives button below the prize list on the donation page and put the donation money towards the bonus incentives. It's easier than doing any of these difficult tricks or confronting 2 stingy rabbits. Best of luck, Ben.
Okay, so for this part of the run, you have to pay really good attention, right? You really need to be watching what's going on, because if you don't, because you're going to lose track of which one goes where, right? So, wait.
I wasn't looking, Ben.
Okay,
nice.
all right, that's
Nice
fine.
1
All
and 3.
right. So I have to follow the 2 poses that are shaking at the beginning, which obviously it takes like a lot of. You really need to be paying attention.
Ben,
Okay.
please pay attention to this one. I don't want. It's just
What?
such a risk. Please pay attention on this one.
I will.
Hey, what's that?
What?
Oh, that's the GDQ China.
Oh shoot! I wasn't
Somebody
looking.
dropped-
Oh
Somebody
no!
dropped it. Oh no!
No, were you guys watching? I don't know.
Just go.
Can we do a vote? What do we want to do?
I vote.
I'm going to left. I'm going left.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that would have been really bad. All right. So, I'm going to pay attention this time, okay?
Okay.
This game's really cool.
The music's really good. I feel like we haven't talked about that at all yet.
Yeah, it's really good.
Wall-to-wall bangers.
It's really good.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Were you paying attention on that one?
Yeah, why?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. So the way that works.
Everybody's favorite GDQ bit.
Yeah, that's a good bet. So the way that works is the way that they scramble at the beginning is always the same. It's just which direction they go off into at the very end. That's different every time. So you only need to watch like the last second of it. Now I have the Master Sword, and I'm gonna go do some stuff with it. I don't know. What's the plot of this game?
I believe you're trying to go kill Yuga to get Zelda back. No, Ceres is a painting right now. Zelda's a painting also? Question mark?
No, not yet. Not yet.
I feel like I haven't done a casual playthrough of this game in so long.
You skip like a huge portion of the beginning of the game doing shop early, and honestly, I don't remember what like any of that is.
Actually, based on what we've done so far, we haven't even met Zelda yet.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Wait,
yeah.
spoilers. Wow.
I'm really sorry, you guys. I just read a game facts about this game just before, and I'm just going off that.
Have you even played this game?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Good. That's the kind of energy I want to bring to this.
All I know is Fash discovered every trick.
Yeah, he did. Especially dash slide.
Yes, especially dash.
Yeah, especially that one. He really found that one.
He found that one real good.
He found the hell out of that trick. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is maybe the best thing about this game, and every game should have this. Rabio right now is going to allow me to use the quick equip, which means you are able to get a second item pouch in this game so that you can use the X and the Y button to use items. I'm not going to do that because it's slow, and also because I no longer have to pause to equip items because I have the quick equip wheel, which I will show you in in a little bit here. And it just lets me in real time switch through items while I'm doing other stuff, so I don't have to pause to equip stuff, and it's so good.
Do any of you remember the early era where nobody was using the quick equip at all?
No one was using it.
When somebody started, they were like, he's goated.
Yeah, and you didn't even go get the quick equip. You only went to the shop twice or something, so you just never even had it.
When would we ever have the brain power and the muscle capacity to do that?
You have to be a gymnast to play the game and also do your equips at the same time. It's kind of hard sometimes.
It is hard. I mean, to be fair, it is difficult.
There's a couple of really difficult parts with that.
One thing you'll notice is Ben did not rent the boomerang, and that's because the boomerang is unfortunately pretty useless in this game.
What? It's the best item in the game. We love the boomerang. It's actually kind of good when you upgrade it, but yeah, it's not great. So right now I'm in Hyrule Castle, and it's kind of weird right now. I'm in a strange limbo state where kind of two world flags are triggered at the same time. So it thinks that I'm in the second half of the game right now, but I never did the first part of the game. So there's castle guards here, but there's also soldiers walking around, and it gets a little wacky. I have to wait there for the guard to move. And there's 2 more guards at these doors, so I have to watch this cutscene. So this is the best cutscene of the game. You just get to look at this doorway. It's great. So it's pretty messed up. And who am I talking to?
I don't know.
It's Zelda. Oh, I'm talking to Zelda. Who is that? I hope they let me see her. Zelda, where are you?
First name is The Legend of.
There she is.
It's a great joke. It's a winner.
Yeah, so everything's just a little jumbled there. So she actually gives you a fake pendant that I already got, which is I don't know how that works, but one thing I never mentioned about this game. So there are no dungeon skips. So at no point during this, I have to beat all of the dungeons. And that's part of the reason why I think it's one of the best Zelda ending percents, because you actually have to play the game. Which doing skips that doing credits warps and stuff are fun, but it's just, I don't know, it's really good. More rupees, oh my goodness.
That's why I think Twilight Princess is also such a good speedrun. It's you see a ton of the game.
You see a lot of the game.
That's also in this marathon. What? Yeah, we have
cross promotion.
He's going to be playing TP later this week.
So one of the other things I didn't mention about the quick equip is that you can use it to cancel item animations. So you're going to see me doing that a lot coming up here by basically opening the quick equip menu, and it allows for some really cool stuff. All right, another Armos buddy. He's going to take me up here. And that just skips that fight, which it's a really slow fight because it's kind of an auto-scroller. Yeah, that one's way easier. That one's that first one I did in Eastern Palace was really hard. That one's free.
Hey, there's Zelda.
There's Zelda, there she is.
I think that's a trick is a really good example of what you meant earlier of tricks that just look physically intuitive while watching this game.
It's just oh, the dude just pushes you on the wall.
Right, you're occupying the same space.
Yeah.
Pop. Yeah.
Stuff like that is great. I love that. So you get turned Zelda into a painting. It is a very nice painting, though. I mean,
yeah,
it's good art.
Yeah, nobody's giving Yuga any credit.
I mean, sure, he's a bad guy. All right, so I went on the Zelda wiki.
Here we go.
To look this up, because I wanted to see something about Yuga earlier, and for some reason, I think it was the fandom wiki or something like that. It had a list. You know how on the top you have kind of like the summary of the webpage.
Sure.
It had, at the very bottom, was like a list of crimes. So he's done a lot of crimes. I know what they all are now. One of them was like total world domination. I don't know.
That's my favorite thing about fan wikis is when they've decided that there's like, you know, on the right side how it'll say like age, nationality, or like whatever,
Yeah,
like
it's
the relevant,
that,
and then
yeah.
they'll choose like alliance, and it's like, well, Yuga is aligned with Ganon. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Wait, that's a spoiler.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
So Yuga's a bad guy, but he's got good art. I don't know.
I don't know. He's committing crimes, you said?
He has a very long list of crimes. Some of them were, what are they, turning people into paintings?
What, are they trying him at The Hague? Why are they listing his crimes?
I don't know. I just thought it was really funny.
And then there's going to be a paragraph somewhere where somebody edited him and was like, Yuga is very handsome. Like,
I mean, he's not a bad looking guy.
Ben, are we seeing a okay.
We probably have time for a donation or two here.
Wonderful. I have here $100 from Maxors, who says, "Hey, Long, I need to reach my friend. Can I borrow your tornado rod?" I'm sure I'll give it back.
No, I'm leaving him. I'm
Oh.
not picking him up.
Oh, okay. I also have here $50 from Zach, who says, "A Link Between Worlds revitalized my love for approximately 2D Zelda games. And I am so excited for this run. Go, Ben!"
Thank you. So that was the second Yuga fight. That one's pretty easy. I messed up a little bit there. You can kind of skip one time where it merges into the wall. It wastes like 5 seconds, but not a huge deal. So this is where we get to another gimmick of the game. We are going to go to kind of the quote unquote dark world. It's not called the dark world. It's called Low Rule. It's a funny name. Laugh. Laugh.
I don't get it.
I just want to say it's time to be real.
Oh, it's time to be real?
I think it's time to be real.
Time to be real?
Cool. We're a little late, but all right.
We were being so real.
We're so real right
So
there.
real.
I feel so real.
5 hours late. I don't.
I think we're super late. Okay, cutscene.
I don't even have Be Real on my phone. I just pretended.
Yeah, what did you just do then?
I genuinely pulled up my camera app and took a picture of you.
All right, send that to me later.
No problem, babe. I got you.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so this is where in that cutscene you meet. So Low Rule is like the bizarro Hyrule version, and
That's how they pitched it.
that is how they fit it. Yeah, Miyamoto was like, all right, you've seen Seinfeld, right? Bizarro Hyrule. Yeah.
If I know anything about Shigeru Miyamoto, it's that he loves Seinfeld.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So every character in Hyrule has like a Low Rule counterpart. So Zelda's counterpart is the Princess Hilda. And basically in that cutscene, Yuga merges himself with the spirit of Ganon and is now Ganon. And Hilda's like, hey dude, can you help me out? Because he's kind of a problem. So I'm gonna go do that. But first, I am gonna do a little overworld setup. So there's a new set of these bird statues that I'm gonna activate. And those will give me 2 more warp points. The heart for safety. Okay. So now there's these portals scattered around the world. I can take them to go back and forth between the 2 areas. That guy right there, we saw him earlier. I don't know. What does he even do? I don't remember. You like skip everything with him. Sahasrara.
Isn't his Sahasrara?
Sahasrara?
Well, I don't know how you know. Like, I don't know where the emphasis is.
It's a cool name.
I just wanted to. Anyway, isn't his assistant the sand rod guy?
Yeah. His buddy does all that stuff. Okay, so this is one of the. Oh, fell off there. This is one of the first examples of me using Quick Equip to kind of do some tricks. So if you cancel animations early, then you can kind of move around while you're not supposed to be. And so you can use that to clip up onto some walls with the fire rod right there. Oop, didn't mean to bonk that. So that lets you, usually you have to go through this really big like lava mine area to get to where I am right now, but I just hopped over a little gap using that trick.
That one saves a ton of time.
That one saves a lot of time. This right here, this is probably the biggest trick in the game. Oh, I actually messed up. Okay. That actually only saves like a quarter of a second, and I missed it, so I'm gonna end up wasting like, I don't know how much. That was like dumb 20-second mistake. All right, so I'm just gonna do it the normal way where I merge. So when you merge like that, it takes like a quarter of a second. Because I'm kind of on an auto scroller here, I want it to move as fast as possible. So I want to try to avoid merging. I'm not used to that cycle. Okay, probably a good time for a couple donations.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have $100 for you from Charbunny, who says, donating to show that bunnies can also not be stingy. We can donate to charity, and so can you. Let's get that bonus game met. And a very happy little face. We are so close on that bonus game, y'all. We are just over $10,000 away, and considering the fact that we were over $30,000 away just a little bit ago, I'm blown away. Time for another donation?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you got one more.
Oh, wonderful. Here's $25 from They the Ames, who says, did someone say they needed rupees? Oh, here you go. Thank you.
So many rupees. The game's being generous. The donators being generous. It's awesome. Okay, so there's 7 low-roll dungeons that I have to do. And I have to do all of them to get to the final dungeon. And this first one I'm doing here is Ice Ruins. Originally, this is probably the hardest dungeon casually. Originally, we thought this dungeon was like impenetrable. There are like invisible walls everywhere. We were like, we're never gonna be able to do anything in this dungeon ever. Ooh, what's going on? We thought it was impossible. And then we were messing around a little bit.
And Fash had this idea.
I think it was Fash. Oh, clip back up. So I'm trying to get in the ceiling here. Kind of finicky. Okay. Now this is a little scary. Oh, transition, whoops. Not a huge deal. Just gotta go and do that again.
This trick is pretty tough. Ben is attempting to, this dungeon is also vertically stacked, but it goes downwards instead of up. And so Ben is attempting to get out of bounds by being pushed by this block into the wall, then dash into some collision below. And then Ben is looking to drop down at a specific place and then drop down again to fall into the boss room.
Okay, so now I'm in the boss. Do you see the boss?
He's right there.
Yeah, there's the boss. And he's dead. A little sloppy. That's fine.
It's so fortuitous that you can skip that fight, because that fight sucks.
That is like a really hard fight. Okay, so the really scary part about that is if you land in the bottom half of that room, and it's where you can stand is like really, it doesn't make any sense. Where you can stand is really specific. And so if you stand at the bottom half of that fight, the fight will start, and he is like really hard. Like I would have died. Like I would not have survived the fight because I haven't practiced it, and it's insanely hard. So that's really good that did not happen. So that's the first dungeon. This game has really good bosses. You're not going to see a lot of them because we're going to do some cool stuff. Probably a good chance for like 2 more donations.
I can gladly do that for you. Here is $25 from Zalamar and Stephaby, and they say, what a horrible night to have a curse. Better stay inside and watch SGDQ's Castlevania block. And ooh, I think that's coming up next, as long as we can add Castlevania to it. We also have $5 from Anonymous, the ever generous, who says, a link between worlds has reignited my passion for 2D Zelda and also 3D Zelda. For some reason? You don't need a reason. Every reason's a good reason.
It's on the 3DS, so
yeah.
there you go. Okay, so right here, I'm going to Dark Palace, and there's a kind of a scary trick, like a little bit. There's a couple things that I really need to take into consideration here. So I am going to be manipulating this enemy into a very specific position. Oh, not that guy. All right, he's coming after me. Now I'm gonna push him into this corner. Okay. Got it. All right, cool. So I'm gonna hop up on that fence, and normally this is like a little stealth section where you have to avoid a bunch of guys, but you can just skip to the very end of it by getting on that fence. That is scary because if you somehow fall into that lake, you can get out of it, but it's like really hard and scary. So it's not good if you fall. But I did not, so we're good.
Yeah, you have to like use the tornado rod as you're falling out of the out of bounds water. It's only a frame maybe.
Yeah, it's very difficult, but no worries, because I got it. So this is the Dark Palace. I wonder why they call it that.
It's a palace.
Any ideas? Yeah, well, it is a palace.
It's also
That's
dark.
probably it, yeah. So most of this dungeon, I think you're supposed to use the lantern to get around, but I only have one item slot, so I'm not going to be equipping that. I'm going to do most of it in the dark. There was 1 or 2 moments where I will be using a lantern, but for the most part, I just have all these rooms pretty memorized. Except earlier today when I was practicing and I just like had no idea where I was. Hope that doesn't happen. Oh, wrong item. Okay, so the gimmick of this dungeon is there's like 4 eyeball switches that I need to illuminate with some light from around various points. And once I do that, I can open the room to the boss. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing. What's the best dungeon in this game? This game's got some killer dungeons.
I like Swamp Palace.
I was going to say Swamp Palace.
Swamp House is really good. Water dungeons are always, come on, always the best dungeon, like every time.
I think Desert is good too.
That's a dungeon?
Yeah, apparently.
I don't even know what you're talking about. In this game, desert?
Yeah.
I don't think there is a desert.
Yeah, there must
dungeon.
not be, I guess. I must be remembering some other game.
Okay, yep, so I'm breaking these boards around the windows and the light is gonna shine down into the bottom room. That's kind of the gimmick. And so now I think I have most of those good to go. And I am gonna travel down to the basement of the dungeon. You can do some cool little bow shots there. I think, so the item in this dungeon is the bombs that you definitely need. But you can, I think you're supposed to use the bomb on those switches, but you can just get around without them. Okay, grab that key. Okay, that was good. that's a tricky slide there. Okay, so yeah, you can see the eyeballs here. I got one more to light. I don't know how you're supposed to do this. I think you're supposed to like drop down on top of this. Ooh, that's the wrong item. But you can just like use the ice rod, which is super cool. Like, so this game rules because it's like a 2D top-down game, but it's like very 3-dimensional. So like stuff above you is like really above you and you can interact with it in that way. It's great. Okay, I'm grabbing this energy potion here. Again, you can't see my stamina bar, but I am very much keeping track of the stamina that I'm using every single time I use an item. And the reason I do that is because I want to clear that little cutscene you get before this fight. I need the lantern. This fight is pretty hard. I have a lot of trouble with it. Okay, so I'm going to set up these bombs here. And this is where the quick equipping is like really tricky because I have to do all this movement and keep switching items. So he's going to spawn on top of these bombs. I'm gonna switch back to the bombs. I'm gonna throw one more. Nice, okay, that's probably the hardest part. So you just do that because he's gonna start running around very sporadically and it's very hard to hit him. He's being so nice to me right now. Okay, and now he turns the lights off. I gotta switch back to the lantern to light these torches in the corner. And now I need to, wait for him to come back to me. Oh no, he's running away. All right, now he's not being nice. Okay. That's not great. Okay. So you can kind of one cycle in there. He's probably only has one hit. Oh no, it's 2. Okay. So, that fight can't go too wrong, but it's fine.
Do you have a favorite boss fight in this game, Ben?
Do I have a
Question to
favorite
the
boss
both of
fight?
you as well.
I think the last boss is great. I think it's one of the best final bosses in a Zelda game. Mechanically.
Genuinely really hard.
It's so hard.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. Yeah, I didn't. We're saving these sages here, who are characters we saw like earlier in the game. Well, most of them are. There's one or two that we didn't even see. So they all got turned into paintings. We got to save them. That's the whole point of the dungeons. Probably an opportunity for like 2 donations.
Sure thing. I have a $5 donation here from the backside of water, who says, love Zelda games and love GDQ. Even better when you add them together. I'll donate again if the host gives her best. Ready? Well, excuse me, princess. It was a lot of yous.
We got to bring back the CDI Zelda. We need them.
Now, is that 2D or 3D?
That's all D.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like out. I don't
It's
know.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, I think if all the world leaders played Wand of Gamelon, everybody would get along better.
I think so. Oh no, these guys are gonna be mean to me. All right, I'm just gonna take care of this guy. Get out of here. They're random where those enemies are, and they can just be mean. Because I need to set up, that's very precise I need to get into that position to get up on this railing. That's another fire rod boost. And nice.
Nice.
So that puts me in the next area. Normally you would have to go around a lot of different places to kind of get into here, but that just makes it a little faster. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing a trick here called animation cancel, I think. Or no, lead storage, what do you call it?
Animation storage.
Animation storage.
Combo of the two.
Okay. Oh, that fireball was like so close. Wow. Okay, so I use that to basically store Link's getting up out of the water animation. I want some hearts. Cool. And then I use it on a different surface. So normally you're not supposed to jump up on that little ledge right there, but you can do it. And it skips having to run around that water section. There's like some turtles you have to save. I'm so sorry, turtles, but I'm not saving you this run. Okay. This dungeon used to be very hard. It's less hard now, but it still does have one really difficult trick. Well, no, it's not hard.
It's gotten easier over the years.
It's gotten a lot easier.
The first couple iterations were really, really difficult.
Really difficult. But this dungeon is like really fast because of this trick. Shouts to Fast for finding it. Okay, I'm gonna hit that guy. All right, so I'm positioning myself with a very exact like height right there on that ramp. And then I'm gonna get hit by that
Nice,
fireball right as I'm under that ledge. It pushes me up. Nope, I don't want to take that damage. Come on. All right. So yeah, so that trick used to be this insanely stupid frame perfect bomb rod where I had to like use this tornado rod on the same frame a bomb goes off. It was awful. That trick is so much better.
The reason the bomb one is frame perfect, but the whiz robe isn't, is because the bomb you have to place on the ground in front of you, which is what makes it one frame, but the extra height from the whiz robe shot makes it really easy.
So this is Grinex. This boss is also really good. Oh, he's being really nice. This movement is like completely random. I don't think you can manipulate it at all. And he has like weird cooldowns where like you can't hit him with the ice rod, which is really dumb. And this boss is also like pretty hard if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, so now we get to the part of the fight where I just hit the head with the sword. Oh. Nope. Okay. He's being pretty nice. Okay, 2 of those. Not amazing, but I'd say overall, pretty good luck there. Great.
Nice.
Love it. Probably another good time for donations. You're noticing a pattern here between dungeons. Usually a pretty good time for donations.
Ah, I see. Interesting. Well, I have $20 here for you from Sushi Elemental, who says, I paused Tears of the Kingdom to watch this. worth every second. That's really high praise, I think. I think that's pretty good.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah. Also, $50 from Nick and Jack, who says, is man a miserable secrets pile of a what? Is that how Castlevania Randomizer works? Donating to find out. I now need to know. Thank you, everyone. Please help meet that randomizer incentive.
I can't confirm or deny, but that might be my brother and his husband. I'm not sure. They didn't say anything to signify that it was them, but those are their names. So.
Oh.
Duh.
Yeah, I don't know if that's relevant to you, Ben, but now you know.
Well, hi, Adef's family.
Yeah, there you go.
Is this the hardest dungeon?
It is the best dungeon.
It is the best dungeon. I don't know.
I think in current any % route, this is pretty tough.
This is really hard.
I think this is the hardest trick in the game.
I think this
not
is
Tower
hard.
of Hera. So.
It's definitely
I agree.
finicky, and it's probably more punishing because you can just retry Hera. What just happened?
Nice.
I've never seen that. Okay, so I just did a trick there called I'm frazzled. I did a trick there called an ice rod clip, where you can use the collision from the ice ball that comes out of the ice rod, and it can like push you through walls. It can also push you through water, and I got kind of stuck there, and then just went through. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've never
this is-
seen it done the way you just did it.
This is very difficult. You need to move in a very specific way here. Nice. Okay, that was good. So now I'm swimming through the walls.
This is also a dungeon that has evolved a lot.
Yes, this dungeon has changed quite a bit. There have been a lot of different skips. This new, I don't know if there will ever be anything faster than this. This is pretty fast now. Okay, one more clip here, and then we get to the really scary part. That one's easy. Okay. Woo, serious time. I'm pretty nervous about this one. Okay, so there's a little bit of collision right here I'm gonna stand on, and I'm gonna tornado rod to get up on this ledge. I'm gonna fall back down. Okay, so I cannot clip back and bounce here, and I need to line up in a very specific position. Okay, I'm in the wall, and I need to navigate very carefully. Okay,
Nice,
wow.
Ben. Yes.
Okay, that's so hard.
Nice job.
Okay. So what happened there is I kind of I was out of bounds. I'm standing in the wall, and there's a staircase right there. You cannot swim into the staircase because if you do, you soft lock. So you have to be standing, and you need to navigate yourself around the room and then touch the staircase. And the staircase can also push you back in bounds. And if you get back in bounds, you have to fight the boss. And it's not like a very hard boss, but it does take a long time. And fighting the boss is harder than not fighting it, obviously, and I really don't want to die because then I lose all my items. And I don't really practice the boss because you're not supposed to fight it. The next dungeon here, which dungeon is it again?
There's a dungeon here?
No, there's a painting here.
Right, so they actually just put one of the paintings out in the open for some weird reason. I don't know why they did that. It's just kind of sitting there. So I'm gonna be going to the next area here. The ice rod. Oh, nice. That guy almost hit me. Doesn't really matter, but yeah. So this area has also seen a lot of development. There used to be a trick here that was maybe like one of the hardest tricks I've ever done. It was so stupid. What I'm about to do here is not that bad and pretty cool. So I'm gonna use ice rod to clip through this. Oh, that's not right. Nope. Okay, little finicky. Okay, so I clip through that wall, tornado rod up, and then I need to know exactly where I'm standing here. Where is it? Oh no, okay. Let's do that again.
Yeah, so Ben is getting out of bounds once to get into an area early. You can get up here normally, it just takes time.
Waiting for stamina, I'm all out.
And now he's trying to get out of bounds again, but truly out of bounds by getting boosted up by the fire rod damage again. Whew. And the positioning is really specific, and not only that, but there's no notches on the 3DS circle pad. And this trick requires you to move. I mean, everybody kind of does it a little bit differently, I think.
Yeah, you have to move in a really specific way. Oh, that was close. There it is. Okay, wow. That's okay. That's really not that hard, but a little tricky. Okay, this is very important. I really don't want to mess this up. Nice. Okay. There it is. There's painting. You can't see it. So yeah, that is the Desert Palace skip. It just skips the Desert Palace. That is the dungeon, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
I've never been in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's just fortuitous that it's in Hyrule and not Lorule.
Right. So the boss that's right there is like in the overworld, kind of. So you can just zoom over the boss arena and just get straight to the painting.
Yeah, if anybody wants to find a Skullwood skip, that would be sick.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that would be great. Speaking of Skullwoods, that's the next dungeon.
Because
Probably-
the painting's always just in the overworld.
Yeah, it also is. Which sucks. We should get that. You should figure that out.
I tried, and it turns out I'm not that smart.
But me neither.
Yeah.
Have you asked Fesh?
Oh, did we ask Fash?
Ooh.
This is a great point.
Maybe. I'll get him on it.
Okay, good.
I'll get our best guys on it. Good opportunity for a donation or two.
Wonderful, wonderful. Here is $50 for you from Aneka, who says, loving this Link Between Worlds run. Go benstephens56.
Thank you.
Also, $100 for you from Shay, who says, Link Between Worlds was the first speedrun I ever learned. Lots of nostalgic feelings watching this one. Good luck to Ben Stevens on this amazing any% and the best Zelda speedrun.
I agree. Good taste. Thank you.
I might have questions, but it's okay. I'll keep them to myself.
Okay, so this is Skullwoods. Like I said, like we were just talking about, there's potential for like a really good skip here because the painting, like Desert Palace, is kind of just hanging out in the open. But we can't find a way to get up to it yet. So got to go through the dungeon. There's some cool stuff in this dungeon, but
It's a bit weird. Everywhere else in this game, we talked about how like it's intuitive. You can just sort of get on top of walls. But weirdly enough, if you check out the collision inside Skullwoods, there are extremely massive invisible walls everywhere in a way that isn't really true in the rest of the game.
yeah, there are definitely some areas where that's true. Like I was talking about earlier with Ice Ruins, where there were just invisible walls everywhere, and it sucks. But we found a way around those. I want those hearts.
It's also interesting because the ledges look so low.
Oh my
The
goodness,
stuff we're
they're
trying
like
to get on
right
top
there.
of is like an inch tall. Mm-hmm. And there's all those rib cages right there. It's like, and there's pose. Surely something can be done.
Do you guys like to party? Anyone like to party? Yeah. We're about to go into the party room, which is like one of the worst rooms in the game. I hate the party room. We call it the party room because all the enemies are just hanging out, having a little party. And they really want to ruin my party. So I need to hope that they don't get in my way. All right, this is the party room. Okay. I can make this work.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, don't want to fall off there. All right, that's a little skip there. So if those enemies hit you, you like don't have enough time to do a lot of that room, and you got to like do some really slow stuff and start killing enemies. But they were pretty nice to me. I'm really surprised I didn't get hit there. They were like right behind me.
That skip feels somewhat intentional.
Yeah, I kind of think so. I don't know. Normally you need to move a bunch of statues onto switches. I need bombs. Okay, can't see. Okay, you can just have that hand kill that guy. Pretty cool. 2 bombs. Nice. All right, that room went pretty well. Those Moldorms can like really get in your way. They're wiggling around at the bottom of the room. Okay, another dash slide here, found by Fash, by the way. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
I did one earlier too.
Why does this one work where when you pop off, you respawn at the door?
I don't know.
No. Maybe it's because there's like just a layer on top of you and it decides not to squish you there, but I don't know. Clearly you can stand there.
I need to be kind of careful here. I'm kind of low on health. Oh, come on. Ooh. I can't. Get out of here. All right. Kill those guys. That was pretty slow. You can just slash those guys, but it takes forever. Luckily, there's some good hearts here. Okay. This trick is maybe one of the only tricks that it's like not intuitive. I don't know why this works. It's so dumb. Okay, so I'm going to take this eyeball, and there's 2 of them in this dungeon. And I'm gonna put it in the pedestal that it's supposed to go in, and then you can just kind of like, I don't know why this setup works, but you can just re-pick it up as it's activating, and that's what we call eyeball dupe. And so the other one is like really far away, and you have to get it and like escort it through the rest of the dungeon, but nope, you can just dupe it and get to. It's really easy. I just don't know why it works.
You'll notice before Ben threw it and did the dupe, he kind of threw it at the statue, and that is actually required to make the trick work.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Okay, so this trick I'm about to do right here, a little history class. This trick was actually found the day before this game came out. I think it was the first glitch that was found. So this guy, he's gonna rear up, and I'm just gonna go through the wall.
That was, I don't know about you 3, but that was the video I saw where I decided I wanted to speedrun this game. Like,
Yeah,
I saw
same.
that and was like, oh, this is gonna be very good.
This is gonna be sick.
By Fash as well.
Yeah, also found my fish. Okay. So that was the 6th dungeon, 1 more to go, Thieves' Hideout. Thieves' Hideout's okay. Thieves' Hideout has a banger song.
Yes.
Thieves' Hideout is so good. Good time for a couple more donations. Between a dungeon? No way.
Wow, I never would have seen it coming. I have $25 for you here from our Borrelia, who says, Gemmasaur dropped this, so let's give it to Doctors Without Borders. What a good idea. Also have $25 from Anonymous, who says, watching with my wonderful Chaos Gremlin. Less than 3. I don't know what that means, but congratulations.
Can we get an update on the Soten randomizer?
Oh, I would love to give you an update on that one, because we are less than $10,000 away. We currently have $51,492.88 out of 60,000. So there's math involved, but it's less than 9,000. I know that much.
Let's get that met. You're gonna want to see that run, I promise.
Oh, I want to see that run.
When does that end? Is that...
That should end. We have 2 more runs to get to that, but
I believe in Twitch
Get
chat.
those donations in. Let's get it.
these are speed runs. They go fast. Come on, everyone.
So I like Thieves' Hideout. This is the worst room in the game. You're just pushing statues. You know what? You can do another donation, actually.
Surely. I've got $25 from Patrick and Ada, who says, this is the first year I'm watching together with my daughter. She says, gotta go fast, and Zelda.
I agree.
Wise words.
Very wise words.
Okay, so the whole point of pushing these statues is I need to have these 3 switches held down. So now the door's open, but I'm gonna push the statues some more. Because I'm gonna do a little trick here, and this actually is pretty hard. There was an older version of this that was not that difficult. This is pretty challenging, and if I mess it up, I have to push statues again. So I'm gonna really try not to, because I don't like pushing statues, and I don't think people like watching pushing statues. So this should be it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this fence go up, and that statue's gonna land on me. It's gonna push me through the floor. Now I have to continue holding up or I will fall all the way down. And the room, I'm like between floors right now. Okay. Now I'm gonna come through here, hit this switch to open that door because I'm gonna be coming back later. Okay, now this is the tricky part. I need to get into a very precise position. I think that's it. Gonna dash here. Okay, I think that's good. Looks good. Do that. Nice. A lot of just really wacky out of bounds movement. Okay. I don't know. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. So I need to, all right. I really need to not fall into that room. This room is probably the scariest room of the game. These mini boss enemies are terrifying. Okay, that went really well. I was talking the whole time, but yeah, that's so scary.
Nice job, Ben.
For reference, all of that saves maybe what, like 10 seconds?
Probably, yeah. It saves not that much time. And it's so scary, but it looks so cool.
I think that might be the most recent like major dungeon reroute in this run too.
And it's like basically not any different from what we used to. We used to fight that mini boss, and honestly, the trick to like not fight the mini boss, like it barely saves any time, and it's really, really hard. But fighting the mini boss is like probably worse because it's so scary. Okay, so the rest of this dungeon, I'm going to be escorting Thief Girl around, and the thief enemies, they're going to try to grab her, and if that happens, then I kind of have to go back to the beginning part where I picked her up, and I really don't want to do that. Luckily, they're pretty easy to avoid, but most of this dungeon is just escorting her around to get to the end. You can actually clip straight into the boss room like pretty early, but if you don't have Thief Girl with you, the boss just won't spawn. So got to bring her around. But that's okay, because I like the movement here. I think it's pretty fun.
Yep. There are some escort segments I really don't mind in games, and this is one of them. It like uses the fact that there are two of you in a really interesting way.
Yeah, I think it's great. And it's not like, the only bad thing is just when she gets caught, and you know, honestly, you're probably just a skill issue if that happens.
Ooh.
Okay. So, there's a little bit of a skip here where I'm gonna do that, bring her over here, and then you can skip. There's a cutscene right there that I kind of just walk around. It's only like a couple seconds, but it's nice to go around. Oh, and she gets stuck on the door frame there, which is great. I really want to get this. There's like no way.
I believe.
There's like no way.
Everyone always wants this.
Oh, that was so close. Hey, you can save like half a second if you dash slide, found by Fash. Like as that cutscene starts and you like fall off, it saves like quarter second. It is like means nothing. It means nothing to me, less than nothing.
You okay there, bud?
No.
Okay.
But I really want to get that trick because I told a bunch of people like, yeah, I like fell off that ledge once and no one believed me because it's like, I think it's frame perfect. And no one believed me until someone else did it. And they're like, okay, that's the Ben slide. So that's named after me.
The Ben slide found by Fash.
Found by Fash, actually, yeah. Oh. Where do I go? I got to go back and get it,
I think
right?
you have to go back.
Yeah, I got to go back. All right. That's dumb, but whatever. Luckily, this door's open, so I don't have to go all the way around. But yeah, I gotta go. That rat wanted to ruin my day. Okay, that wastes a little bit of time, but not a huge deal. Do these guys spawn again? Yep, they do. Okay, probably a good time for another donation because of that.
Surely. Here is $50 from Sestrin, who says, I'm really liking the idea of seeing more Symphony of the Night at GDQ, so I had to donate toward this incentive. Best of luck to Dragon Blitz on the randomizer run. Well, before we're gonna stockpile that luck until the incentive gets met. We're very close. We're setting aside for Dragon Blitz.
I savored killing that rat this time.
Yeah, you watched it die.
I wanted to see it. That was mean of him. Nope, missed a second bomb there. Okay.
Nice purple rupee.
Yeah,
that
I've
you
gotten
don't need.
2 of those already. I have all the rupees I've picked up at this point, so I have like 137, or just like random. That's like a really insane number to have at this point. I usually have like 50.
That's a clever little skip right there.
I love that's bread and butter speed running.
That is.
You stole the words from my mouth. Shoutouts to Fash.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up some hearts here just to be safe. I like this boss.
Yeah,
it's good.
So this boss has a really weird thing that happens with it, where if you hit it with the hammer, it'll like double hit, and it does like quadruple damage for some reason. I don't know why, but the hammer is really good against this guy, so I'm going to be using it a lot. No, I don't think I want to do it twice there. No, that's fine. I hope I have enough stamina. I think I should be okay. Nope. Yeah, I might be running a little low. Oh, he's beating me up. Yeah, I missed one of the double hits with the hammer. All right, I'm just going to hit you again. All right, that's fine. And then the last phase, not a very hard boss. Nope, getting beat up. All right, cool. So a little thing I didn't explain earlier is it's kind of, you can do any of these dungeons in pretty much any order. There is like a fast order to do for speedrunning, but it's kind of heavily implied that this should be like probably the first dungeon you do, because it's right where you spawn at the beginning of the low rule portion of the game. And I don't think you need any items to complete it, right? I don't think you need anything. So it's like, it's very easy. There's no requirements to get into the dungeon. And you need to casually beat this dungeon before you go to the Desert Palace, because this guy right here, who you actually never meet before this point, has the Sand Rod item. And the Sand Rod allows you need that normally to beat the Desert Palace. But since I skipped all the Desert Palace, I did not need to use the Sand Rod. And that's really good because, so that's another reason why Desert Palace skips saves so much time. Because normally, since this is the last dungeon I'm beating, there's a cutscene that's supposed to happen here where you get the Triforce. It's probably like a little over a minute. And you'll see like the camera kind of gets weird there because it starts trying to kind of play that cutscene, but you get canceled by the cutscene of you getting the Sand Rod. And so that skips that really long cutscene, and it's pretty good. Probably time for like one donation.
Can do. I've got $50 here from God Ginray, who says, had to donate during the run of one of the best Zelda games of all time. You can say that this game is worlds better than some of the other games in the series. I wonder if we can find the common link between the best games in this series. Winky face.
Good opinion. Everything that's about to happen is terrifying. I'm going to safety save.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you were going to save.
Yeah, no, I'm going to save here. This is insanely hard, all the stuff I'm about to do. It's a little scary. How are we doing on time? Because
You're chilling.
you're chilling.
You're chilling.
I'm looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. I'm glad I have a bit of a buffer here because this is where stuff gets real. So this is Low Rule Castle. You need to beat all of the dungeons to get in here to open the door. So you can stun lock this guy with arrows. Normally when you try to hit him 4 times with the sword, it will block your last attack. But if you throw in an arrow every 4th hit, it's pretty good. Okay, so I am about to do the trial skip. This trick is pretty hard. There's a pretty good setup for it, but it's really dangerous because if you fail it, I'm gonna lose a lot of health with the setup I'm using. And if I lose too much health, I have to either farm or reload the save or do something. So we're gonna hope it goes okay. Oop, taking a lot of damage here. Get out of here. I think I already got one of those, yeah? Okay. Oh, missed. Okay. Having trouble lining up shot. Okay, this is a big bomb. I haven't seen any of these yet because I've skipped them all. I'm gonna put this in a very precise position, and I need to look very closely because the position I need to stand in here is super precise. Nice.
Nice.
Wow, okay. That's scary.
The double hookshot setup is so smart.
It's so smart. That is an insane setup. How am I doing on health? Okay, Fast found that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get all the hearts. Okay, so this is the final boss. This is Yu Ganon, and Yu Ganon has 128 health, and my sword does 2 damage, and some of his attacks do 5 hearts. So I can basically get hit twice, and I have to hit him 64 times. So it's very hard. That's the worst attack. I hate that. I really don't want him to do that. Yeah, this is terrifying.
His hurt boxes are massive on this trident.
Yeah, especially
often taking up like half the room.
The thrust moves are like, oh, I hate that one. Stop doing that. Okay. Ideally, I want him to do the horizontal swipe. I think that's like the best move and easiest to dodge. And I don't want to get stuck in a corner either, because he can corner you pretty badly. So far, so good.
Arrows also do 2 damage, by the way.
Arrows do 2 damage. They're a little faster than swinging with your sword, because there's like, I don't think there's any like cooldown. Get out of there. Feeling good about this. I don't want to jinx myself, but so far so good. He's giving me pretty nice patterns, I think. Where do I want to go? I don't... Okay, yeah, just play that one safe. Yep. I'm like so focused right now. I've been so nervous about this fight. Nice. Oh,
Nice.
woo! Terrifying.
That is really hard.
Okay. Oh, I guess it's cutscene.
And it's not over.
It's not over, but I have a lot of health. So, okay. This is the scariest tennis. Everyone, you got the Ganon, Phantom Ganon tennis. This tennis is insane because the speed of the orb is different like every time you hit it. So you kind of like really need to be paying attention.
Yeah, and you can't mash. It won't work if you mash.
If you mash, it trolls you, and it like starts going towards him, and then it boomerangs back to you. It's like, it's so bad. All right, that went so well. I'm so happy about that.
Nice.
Okay, so now I get the Bow of Light, final item of the game, and I am going to equip that. And this is, I like this. This is so cute. Also, music, banger. Oh, he almost hit me there.
There should have been more items you could use while merged. It's kind of a missed opportunity.
I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Never thought of that, but you're totally right.
So I just get to wail on him here. All right, so these little bats suck. They're the worst. This first section's not too bad. The second one is a lot worse because they're coming at you from 2 directions. Spoilers, I do that twice. Okay, tennis 2. This one usually moves a little faster. Ah, yikes, bad. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. All right. Almost was, I was on track for damage list there. Okay, so these bats that will be coming here in a second. All right, stop moving away from me, bud. All right, cool. So these bats that are going to be coming at me do 2 hearts of damage. So I got 1 hit. If I take a hit, I'm going to do a safety. I really don't want to die here. But I'm going to try to hold out without using my safety net for as long as I can. So far, so good. I'm just going to take it. Yeah. It wastes like half a second to merge here. I really don't want to risk it. Okay. Because if I die here, I have to do all of Low Roll Castle over again. I have to do the insanely hard trial skip. And I got to do the first half of the fight again. Really bad.
This one you do mash.
I do mash, yeah. You have to mash on that one. So that one's easy. All right, so, I mean, like, I'm done with all the scary stuff.
Yeah.
And then get him with the trick shot. That was terrifying.
Nice job, Ben. That was really, really good.
Okay. Nice. And that's final boss. I need some water. I'm sweating. I would say that's like the biggest barrier to entry on learning this game.
Yes.
It's just being able to do the fight.
But I would say if you are interested in learning this game, which I can't recommend it enough, getting the mail, like the Swamp Palace mail, is not too bad.
The one in Ganon's Castles, or Low Roll Castle, is pretty good. Yeah, so there is an item that does reduce the damage you take in half, and it takes like maybe 45 seconds to get. It's like not awful, but I'm not going to do it because because it's way cooler and more exciting for a marathon run.
I'm just saying for people who don't want to want to start somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so time is going to come up when I touch the Triforce, which will be probably in like 20 seconds here. So just got to talk to Zelda a little bit. Who's this character? I've only seen him like once.
Triforce.
There it is.
This is a solid time, Ben. This is really solid.
It's pretty good. All right, time. Cool. All right, what we got?
128.
That's under 130. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Really good run, Ben.
Yeah.
Great.
Whew. Okay. I guess any of the game shout outs. Shout outs to Old Couch. Shout outs to the community. It's very cool. There's a randomizer for this game too. You can play that. It's rules. Shout outs to Fash. Follow him on Twitter at Fash. You guys got anything?
Community,
Follow Ben.
Follow Ben. Community for this game is putting together some type of new tournament series. I don't remember all the details off the top of my head, but if you like this game, you should check out their Discord for info on that.
Yeah,
Right,
there's
right.
no
For
better
the-
time to start running this.
It's for the 10th anniversary. This game has its 10th
Yeah.
anniversary later this year.
So in like 2 or 3 weeks, there's going to be a big tournament thing for this game that involves like cool little task challenges. If you've never played this game or want to get into it, perfect time. That's all I got. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, benstephens56, for the incredible run. Let's get one more round of applause. Come on. Incredible. I also, to add to their shout out train, we have $25 here from Jojo Domingo, who says, Link Between Worlds has the most fashionable tech. See, that's a pun I can get behind. And while we're all giggling at that, we're going to take a quick break, stretch, get some water, do all the healthy stuff. We'll be right back. Hello, everyone. I hope you've had a lovely break. I hope it was full of stretches and water and imbibing liquid. It doesn't have to necessarily be water. The water is good for you. I have a lovely donation here from Senior Tacos, who donates $5 and says, link between worlds, more like link between floors, which is a lovely summation of that last run. I also have another quick break for y'all. And that break is we're gonna hear from a sponsor, one of the lovely people who makes this happen. So exciting. They enable us to view speedruns. Respect them.
Excuse me, do you mind if I sit here while I wait for my coffee?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out.
I'm Kenzie, by the way.
I'm Michael.
Also, a quick word from DX Racer. DX Racer is a pioneer in gaming chairs, and that's literal. They made the first gaming chair. They have done over 100 esports collaborations and would love to collaborate with your spinal column and all the rest of your body parts that are involved with sitting down with their best-selling gamer chair. Well, everyone, we do have up next an interview for everyone with that Castlevania runner, Dragon Blitz. So we better get that incentive met. Yeah, we're only less than $6,000 away. Y'all take my breath away. Exactly. Let's get some hype for less than $6,000. That's what I like to hear. And I will have to join in the hype for that from somewhere that is not sitting in front of a microphone, because my time with you today has ended. I have been PippyInATopHat, and I will continue to be PippyInATopHat actually later this week. So if anybody wants to see some incredible runs, I'm really looking forward to hosting for V 6 times. I don't know if I'm hosting for the letter V 6 individual times or just 6 Vs one. I'll figure it out. I've got a few days because that'll be Friday morning, but I highly recommend you check it out. In the meantime, I'm gonna leave everyone in the capable hands of Nicole Goodnight and also an interview. Enjoy.